Welcome back to Bailiwick of Guernsey Shipwrecks. I'm JP Fallais, and we've always dived the ammo wreck and seem to see quite a few scallops around the outside of it. So today I'm going to have a little scallop around the outside of the ammo wreck. It's a free ascent, no shot line, so I'm dropping down into 30 metres of water. And will I see the shipwreck? Yes, I will. I've dropped straight onto the stern area. That's perfect. Now I can't come down to the shipwreck and not have a good look around. It's teeming in life. There's loads of stuff on this. I'm going to swim all the way to the front and then drop down onto the bow area and then come up the port side of it right out onto the sand. See how many scallops I get. Fingers crossed I get a few. really should be telling you why I've come right the way down to the bow. It's about 35 metres of water, and I've come down to, well, have a look. But also, Matt's told me there's a huge lobster on down near the bow. I'm not quite sure that one I just seen was huge, but we'll have a little look around. I'm sure there must be a bigger one somewhere. It's all good. 34.3 metres, and we're going to go up the port side. So this shipwreck is on a slope heading down towards the bow, the deepest part. The stern's about 27 metres, and there's a large scour to the port side of it, and then up onto some nice sand. Just check my air, and I think that's where I'm going to head now. This is what the seabed's like down here. It's a clay underneath, which is this grey stuff. There's old shells above it, but that is the original seabed, what's underneath. Probably above water at one time. Oh, I think we found it. Inside this big tube, there's a large lobster. I could reach in and grab him now, but he's probably just too far forward. Let's see if the tube's got a hole the other end. See if we can get him from the other side. I can see some antennae, so that's good. Yeah, it's very large. I'm not getting my hand inside that hole. It's a beast. We'll leave it be. I'm very deep, and I should really be looking for scallops. And I keep my eye out because there's loads of bits and pieces that have been ripped off, laying out on the seabed here. This is where one of the cruise liner anchors went through and pulled a load of chunks off. Oh, it's just a glove. It's fine. Should really mention, not many people actually dive around here for scallops, just because it's so close to the shipwreck. You can see here, this is where the scour starts. So a scour is where the tide hits the side of the shipwreck and washes out the sand. So it's in a recess, as it were. I can see my first scallop. They should all be pretty big around here. Yeah, there's a few. We're off to a good start. I've only got one of my lights on at the moment because the backscatter's pretty bad. And I tend to find if I've only got one light on, it's not so bad. There's a few more scallops just here. See if we can fill a bag. So that shadow off to the distance over there, if I turn my lights off, is the shipwreck. I'm probably maybe 15-20 metres to the side of it. Only just about work out as a shadow. Big scour gives it away though. 31 metres, and I haven't got many minutes left on the bottom now. Every time I do come out to the sides to have a little look around, I normally find different items, maybe sort of catch bags and stuff that's been lost off of the shipwreck. Other divers end up losing it. If we do find stuff off of the shipwreck, we try and put it up on Facebook and see what it is and try and rehome it. Another thing I should mention really is this is what's considered the dark side of the wreck. So every shipwreck has got a dark side of the wreck. So I'm now facing due south. So I'm in the shadow of the shipwreck. Normally we scallop on the other side of it, which tends to be a little bit better, to be honest. Already down to 2 minutes. Another thing I should say is there's loads of debris on the northern side. Some crab pots that have been lost, completely battered. Obviously someone's been past before because they've opened the door. Some of the smaller fish off the shipwreck have actually followed me. They're behind me. Every so often I just see them out the corner of my eye. Like that one. There's all sorts of other bits around here as well. Bits of pottery, old bottles, bits of metal, old fishing gear, ropes, anchors. I'm not going to go as far, but there is a huge anchor to the right hand side with all the chain tangled up around the stock. Look at this. You ever seen a starfish with just one tentacle or one arm? Unfortunately, that will grow new arms and have 5 again eventually. So I keep seeing stuff out the corner of my eye, so we're just going to go over and have a little look. Just seeing a little whip conger go back underneath this metal plate. Do you see his little white nose in there? Not quite sure what this thing is. Solid, whatever it is. The seaweed's wrapped around it as it's come down with the tide. There's also some sort of bottle alongside it. It's not very old. You can tell by the lip. Looks very shiny as well, which is normally a giveaway. There is old necks here as well. Look at this. Shame that wasn't a full bottle. That would have been awesome. Free blown glass. And you can see here loads of push-ups and bases. This would have been an anchorage for the last couple of 100 years. Navy used to come down and anchor outside the harbour. So all these are probably off of Navy boats or merchant boats, and we always had a good trade between France and the UK. Although they're huge, I was expecting a few more. There's other stuff that keeps catching my eye like this. A bit of blue glass. Again, there's something that's been digging here. I'm going to guess it's probably a red mullet by looking at the hole, but he's long gone. Just a trail of sand now, where he quickly swam off. Let's see how far I'm away from the shipwreck, see if we can still see it. Turn my lights off. Can just about see it, just right on the edge of my vision. I'm in Deco. I'm now in 28 metres of water, so I'm getting shallow. Up towards the stern, loads of air. So I'm just going to carry on, see what we get. What I'll do is I'll take a turn to the south. I'm heading west at the moment. I'll take a turn to the south and go down the back of the shipwreck. Some more foreign objects. This one looks like a Mark II Ford Fiesta car battery. So these batteries end up getting dropped here. You see how far I was away from the shipwreck. That was probably a diver that used it as a shot and then lost it well off the wreck. There's other bits and bobs here as well. There's probably some sort of VHF radio antennae maybe. Another thing that you'd see quite a lot of are these old tyres. Pretty toxic. They're letting off little microfibres of badness into the water, but there's nothing I can do. It would cost me a fortune if I took them back to the surface and tried disposing of them. So unfortunately I have to leave them all there. I know in Plymouth they're trying to do the 1,000 tyre challenge where they're going to collect 1,000 tyres from Plymouth Harbour, which I think they're well on the way to do. Fair play to them. I get excited when I see just little glimpses of bottles, because sometimes it means they've been there a long time, but in this case it isn't. I think it's a guppies, aerated water or some lemonade of some sort, so it can stay there. Give it a little shake to clean the sand out, and then hopefully a butterfly blenny or another fish can use it as a home. Well, I'm well out the back of the shipwreck now, and I keep finding little bits and bobs that keeps me sidetracked. This looks like some sort of ring. Not quite sure what it is, so I have a little dig. And it is an old anchor which is completely knackered, so we're going to leave it there. Looks like I'm back on them again now, and now I'm going down the stern. So you can see there's marks here in the sand. This is where Matt's previously been, and that's where he's dragged his bag. So I'll make an executive decision, check my time. Now I've got 2 minutes of Deco, so basically I need to wait at 3 meters for 2 minutes, and then plus my 3 minute safety stop and my 1 minute back to the surface. And along with my time to travel up to that depth, I've got 8 minutes total time to surface, so I'm happy with that. I'll wait until I get to about 10 minutes and then I'll start heading up. Another lump of something. That's a big boulder. It's quite surprising to see a boulder like that around here, because there doesn't seem to be many boulders like that around here. And I'm going to make a bit of a guess to say that maybe someone trawled it up in their net and has dumped it here. This is very typical. Oh, it was too small, I'll put that one back. This is very typical. I'm starting to find scallops at the end of my dive. And this is where you can come on stock. So, doesn't matter how many scallops you're finding, you got to head up. And I think I'm going to call it now. Doing my deco now, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. That was absolutely rubbish. I've probably got between 12 and 15 scallops there. Can you see Matt looking down at me? It's amazing when the visitors like this. The reason Matt's right and close is because I'm probably, I don't know, maybe 200 metres away from the harbour mouth. So he is staying right close to me so I don't get run over. It's a cruise ship starting to come up. They're going north of the bank, so there's a big bank of sand in the middle here that shallows up, all in here. The little boat that's alongside it is the pilot boat, because if you don't come here more than 20 times a year, you've got to be piloted in, and it's from the Lower Heads Buoy to Martin's Point. Here, guide him up. The pilot will be on board, and he doesn't take charge of the ship, he just helps him with navigation. And they're anchoring here somewhere. So Matt's all ready to come up. And it hasn't rained yet. It's my time again, and it's back down for a second dive. So today's only me and Matt. There's not much surface footage because my battery in my what I call my surface camera decided to die. So I think I need to buy a new one of them. So here we go, back on the scallops again. I'm in an area where there's loads and loads of these bottles, so we'll take our time and have a little look. Some of them are old, some of them are new. Looks like maybe a beer. But I'm not down here for the bottles, I'm down here for the scallops, so let's collect scallops. that's weird. It's a lobster. And it's red as well, so that means it's been cooked. And also someone's crab pot. There's a buffet. It's too deep to actually be floaty anymore. I tried chucking it up and it comes straight back down again. Seen a few of these lately. This is a top gurnard. Can you hear this in the background? It's about half a mile away, but it's a scallop dredger. Just hear it ripping the seabed up. All bouncing over the sand anyway. Gonna head up shallower. Hopefully that gives me a little extra time. I've overstayed my welcome, so it's time to head up. It's not bad for me.
Oh God! Oh, you cousin, what? Oh! Oh no, it won't work.
There's the other dive boat. And there's the other diver that come past me.
It's always funny when you see another diver down.
Especially when you're not expecting it. It's not so bad when there's others on the boat and it's like, oh, maybe that's one of ours, but it's not. Oh, it's 57 then. Not bad. Not bad for a weekend warrior. Now we got to navigate for all these yachties. That's the word I was thinking. So Matt's going to go around the outside. It's home time now. Well, time for maybe a quick coffee or a hot chocolate in the cafe. But cheers, thanks for coming along, and I'll catch you on the next tide. See you later.